Hi there, it's Jen, and it is Friday, April 28th. I can't believe we're only 2 days away from the end of April and 3 days away from the launch of this brand new catalog. So if you haven't got yours yet and you think you're on my mailing list, please let me know. I'm going to start making a project in a few minutes, but there's just a couple things I want to do first. So if you're there, please let me know. If you're watching the replay, please let me know. So my name is Jen Tinline. I've been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator for 20 years as of next month in May. And I love to stamp and create with people. And a lot of that is done virtually now, post COVID and post my move to Kingston. Plus, I love that so that I can get to connect with other stampers and crafters all around Canada. So what I do every Friday is I go live here and I show a project, and then the following week I do a draw for the project that I made. And how you get in on the draw is just to comment, like, or share this particular post right now, and then you'll automatically be entered into my draw for next week for the card. If you don't have a demonstrator and you need a catalog, I'm happy to help you out. So I'm saying hello to June, Nicole, Nancy, and Rita. Hello all. So let me just show here the card that I made last week. So this was the little birthday card I made with a new stamp set that's in that new catalog I just showed you. And so this card I'm going to do a draw to give away. So I'm going to share my screen here so that you can see my draw wheel. So hold on one second while I do that. And let's share the screen. And we're going to do this. And here we go. So again, if you liked, comment, and shared on my post last week, then you'll automatically be in this draw. And here we go. So as long as you're Canadian and not a demonstrator, you qualify. So Kathy Lovett definitely falls in that category. So Kathy, and she is in Australia now, right now. How exciting. So Kathy Lovett, I'm going to send you this beautiful little birthday card. So thank you very much for watching the replay from Australia. So let me just stop the share here for a second. And I'm going to check on your comments. I see Estelle's there, Paulette, and another Rita. Oh, fantastic. So what I'm going to do is pop over here to the craft table and get going and make a new card for you today. So I'm going to put that one aside. So let me see here. We can move this over just a smidgy here. Okay, so as you hopefully know, if you're not brand new to Stampin' Up! And if you are, then I'll tell you right now, this catalog starts on May 2nd. I cannot show you the inside. I so want to. But hopefully you have it in your hot little hands right now. And if not, just leave me a message here, or you can jump over my website and leave me a message there too. That's fine. And so there's a few things that one thing I'm going to show you today that is actually on the retiring list. So that is also a plug for the retiring items, because they're basically, after that new catalog starts, they're gone. If not sooner. I mean, there's been so many things that have sold out. Actually, this little guy right here. This is the gems that I put on this card last week. So I'm hoping you can see them. I put them here. And then a few over here. They're my favorite, or I should say they were my favorite, because they're no longer available. The Elegant Faceted Gems. I mentioned them last week. They were available. Now they're no longer available. Not that I had anything to do with that, but I love these. So I actually am going to give these away. These, anyone who has placed an order with me in April, I'm going to put your name in a draw, and I'm going to give away this because I've got a brand new package that is now retired and not available. So that sold out. This here is an item that's also on the retiring list, but it is not sold out yet. It is called By the Bay Designer Series Paper. It's in the mini catalog, but it is retiring, not going to be available. And I just want to show you quickly. I think I've shown this to you once before. But it's got these beautiful patterns. There's always 4 of each on these little 6x6 packs. So let me just so you can see these lovely little beachy patterns. You could cut some of those things out if you wanted. You could stamp on this and just make that be an image, for goodness sakes. There's that. There's another one that could be a beach. I think this was in my newsletter where I did something like this. Okay, so let's just flip quickly here. More shells, beautiful waves, that seashell paper. And then on the other side, it's beautiful as well. This one's actually, if I'm using it today, you can see I've cut 2 circles out. There's some gold foiling and some white sort of embossed imagery on there too. It's really pretty paper. Look at that. Beautiful. So, I mean, although it's got a beachy theme, like these ones here with the gold, you could use it excuse me, for anything. Look at that one. It's got a bit of iridescent foiling on it. Love this one. I actually have a card that I'm going to show you after that was made with that piece. Here's another one with some of that foiling on there. So I think it's shimmering there on the camera. Another one, the iridescent stuff. It's just really, really pretty paper. And there's a lot of it, right? You get 48 sheets when you get this little 6x6 pack. And they're perfect to cut up for cards. Okay, so I'm going to use a piece of that. I'm going to move it aside. And just going to quickly check your comment here. Eileen has joined us. Lisa, Nan, Robin, Nicole. Very pretty paper, and I like the smaller size. Nicole says, yeah, that is a nice feature of it. Like I said, perfect for cards. This is a stamp set called Sea Turtle. It was in the mini catalog, and it is carrying over and will be in the next annual catalog. So this is one you'll still be able to get. So you can see it's a two-step stamping set, which means you stamp this filled-in image first, and you stamp over top with the detailed image. But there's something pretty unique about this one, and I'm going to show you that in a sec. And there's no words in this stamp set, so I've pulled in this one, which is the one I used last week, Circle Sayings, and I'm going to use a saying from that. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out, the big one, to show you here, the big turtle. So you can see there's only one image here, but it is one of these reversible stamps. So I don't think the camera is going to pick this part up. Let me hold it on a piece of white. That might help. So this part here is all detailed. Maybe that. And if I flip it over, it's flat. So this is how your stamp works. You stamp it first like that, then flip it over and stamp it with that. So it's very cool. So it saves, you know, rubber or silicone or whatever this is, photopolymer. It saves on the stamps, which means in the end, the stamp set will be a little cheaper than having that extra set of stamps. So look how big that bubble swirl is. And I've got a card I've done with that too. So I'll show you that. Okay, so I have die cut already 2 little circles with this set of dies, which are continuing in the catalog. They're called Stylish Shapes. They've got that lovely stitching around there. And so I've cut out a piece of Pool Party and then also a piece of the Designer Series paper. And I've got a little piece of white here and a little piece, this is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4 of that nice Designer Series paper, and some Night of Navy and some crumb cakes. So I'm going to start with this. And I've got my stamp mounted on here with the flat side. This is the smaller version of the turtle. There's 2 of them. So I've got a card to show you with both of them on it after too. So I'm going to do all this with 1 ink color too. I'm just going to move this light over just a little bit so I have more room for my elbow. Here we go. Start with nice. So because I want this to be a lighter color and I'm going to do it all with the 1 ink, I'm going to stamp this off once, twice, and then I'm going to stamp it on my paper. Okay, so now I got that nice lighter version of the blue. I'm going to take my scrub. So this is my scrub. I've got it in this case, and I've actually got 2 of them here, and I've just cut one in half just to make it easier to grab. And I'm going to just wipe that. Chamois, not a scrub. So because that's going to be dirty, right? So if I touch it with my fingers, I'll get blue fingers. And I'm going to flip the block over too, just because that would have been wet a little bit. So that's the bumpy side now. So now I'm going to stamp it directly with the Night of Navy. And I'm going to go over top of this image. So I just got to line it up. Photopolymer is very easy to line up. And I'm going to stamp that second image. So now I've got that cute little multicolored turtle, all using the same ink, which is kind of nice way to do that. And I'm going to stamp the happy birthday from that other set I showed you, the Circle Sayings. And I'm going to stamp the happy birthday right down here, like so. I'm going to close up my ink pad just so I don't, my fingers don't drag through it. Do you have to get the chamois wet to use it? That's a great question, Nicole. It comes damp already, comes in a sealed bag. And then what will happen is as you get stuff on it, you're going to take it and just rinse it under the tap. So mine is just barely damp right now. It actually could use a little bit more water in it. Plus you can see that I haven't cleaned it recently, so it needs a good rinsing out. It'll get stained. When you get it, it's this beautiful purple, but it'll get stained. I actually bleached this one, which is why it's a funny color. And it did take some of the more stains out. As long as it's coming clear, you can see this one's really dirty. Then you're fine. Even if it looks messy, it's great. And I just love the chamois because it's good for fingers too. Okay, so what I'm going to do with this there are no dies for this stamp set, so I'm going to just hand cut this out. And this is something we used to have to do in the old days. This is what I tell my new demonstrators. Before we had dies, is just cut them out. And it's really not hard. You need a good sharp pair of scissors. So I'm using Stampin' Up's paper snips here. And then the trick really is you just need to be able to get close to it. And you need to be able to turn your paper and let the scissors do the work. So just turn the paper, and it's not impossible to cut this out. I actually find it kind of relaxing to cut it out. I mean, yes, it's way nicer when there's a die that'll just run it through in 2 seconds. But something like this where it's not really that complicated is easy to do. And then you can decide too how much of a border you want to leave. I always leave a little bit of a white border just because that's the way the dies cut it. I don't know. Looks nice, I think. So just get in there. And you can, oh, that one went a little close. So just cutting that extra piece of cardstock off. And there we go. You would never know that I haven't die cut that. Okay, so let's put this card together. It's super simple. And I think one of the things I like about a card like this, especially with something like sea turtles that are not inherently feminine, is that it could be good for a masculine card. Now, I know that I'm generalizing here when I say that, but you know, we do kind of think in certain colors and styles, I think, for masculine and feminine type cards. So I'm just going to call this more of a neutral card. How's that sound? And so I'm putting the Night of Navy, which is cut at 5 1/4 by 4 on here with my seal adhesive. Oops, and I just messed something up, but that's okay because I can fix it with this. I'll show you in my original and you can decide if one's better than the other. So I wanted to wrap this around the blue, but instead we'll wrap it around here. So I'm just going to add a little bit of tape here, and I'm going to check your questions there in just a second. And this is Night of Navy ribbon. It was in the mini catalog and it is carrying over, so it's still going to be available on May 2nd. I'm trying to use newer things when I can here, just because a lot of other things are sold out. But this paper is not. It's retiring, but it isn't sold out yet. So that is called By the Bay. I always say that I'm going to post a list of ingredients, and then after my lives, I end up going, I don't have enough tape here, for a walk with the dog, and then I forget. So I'm hoping to post that today so that you have that list of stuff if you want it. So I'm just wrapping that around here. So this is a little bit harder than the way I did it on my original sample. So I would recommend doing it on the blue and not on this paper because I've got very little to work with here, but that works. Okay, and then I'm going to pop it on here. You see I put tape already on the back of that piece before, so it's ready to pop on here. Okay, nice smooth. And then I'm going to lay this piece on here as well. I think I'm going to do this on the opposite side again so you can just see 2 versions. That's just laying flat. Then I'm going to take some dimensionals. Here's my big ones on this piece here. You can put as many or as few as you like. I tend to like to make sure it's not going to sag when it gets mailed. Just going to brush those away. I have a garbage up on my table here. I really should put it down on the floor because that's where I brush everything. So it's going to go like that. And I'll stand this up after so you can see it. So you can see the dimension of doing the layers like that. Actually, here you go. You can see right here now. So it's just a nice little more dimensionalized thing. I'm going to add another piece of ribbon here. The other thing too is, although this is ribbon, and you might think of that as a more feminine type card, I'm just tying a knot, so I don't really feel like it is. And I feel like this ribbon is a good neutral card. Okay, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to grab my ribbon scissors. You notice that I have this big long chain on these scissors, and that is because I tend to have one pair of scissors that are just for ribbon, and then that helps to keep those scissors nice and sharp. Okay, now we're going to put dimensionals on this little guy. I think I'm going to use the little ones though. And I will check your comments there in just a second. Although I should check just to make sure that you're not saying, oh, I can't hear you anymore or something. Okay, I don't see any of that, so that's good. See, I'm glad my nails are a little bit long right now because I can just peel these off really easily. Okay, I can't type very well. But okay, so that's going to be enough. Oh, it doesn't want to stay on. Okay, fine. We don't need you. We don't need you. So I'm going to peel these little guys off. That one I need to move over just a little bit. June says she was wondering about the reversible stamps. So thanks for the demo. Yeah, they're easier than they look. You think they're going to be complicated. They're not really. You just got to clean them so you don't get stuff all over your fingers, right? So I'm going to stick this little guy right up here. Happy birthday. So it's a nice beachy type card. Okay, and then I'm going to do one more thing. I am going to add bling to it, even though it's what I call a neutral card, because you just need it. It's the seaside and you need a little bit of bling. So these are the Glossy Dots assortment. They're currently available in the main catalog and they are continuing over. So they're great to use. I'm going to, let's see here, use the Pool Party because there's Pool Party in this thing. I find these dots, they're very big. I'm going to stick with this tool. This is the take your pick tool, and I love that it has these two ends on it. So you can use this for picking up things, and you can use this end for picking up things. You can also use that other end for poking holes. So I'm going to spatula these instead. And I might even just take this, don't lose that end, and just bend them a little bit to be able to slide my little spatula end under there. And I realize that is off camera. Let me do it one more time on camera. So here we go. So I'm just going to bend them a little bit so that I can just kind of shovel them here with my, I'm hoping I'm getting this on camera. Yep, okay. And then I'm going to put one up here kind of around the curve, and then the little wee one here too. I think I positioned my camera just a little bit differently this time. So I am wondering where it went. Why I'm keep going off camera. Okay, so there we go. Hold on. Just drop that on the floor. I'll be picking that for a second. So there's my card. So very pretty. You could put, well, very lovely, we'll say. And very simple, right? You could make a bunch of these really quickly, especially with that paper, because almost anything would go. You could put a piece of white in here if you wanted to, but I find you can write on crumb cake. Let me just show you the other one, and then I'm going to have a look at your comments, okay? So here's the first one I did. So this one I tied around the blue, so you can see it's a little crisper on the edges there, but I put this one on the other side and the left side. I don't think it matters. I think they're both nice. I don't know why I'd put that way instead of that way on that card, but it totally works. You can see here this one that I might have stamped off 4 times because it is just a little bit lighter than this one, but they both look good and they match, right? All those colors match. And I did all that with just the one ink pad. So Estelle says, very pretty. Robin is shared. Yes, don't forget to comment, like, and share so that you get in on the draw. Rita says, great card. It's very versatile. Yes, that's what I liked about it. Carol says, cute. Robin says she loves the colors. I love blues and crumb cake together. It's one of my favorites. Nan says, oh, she loves it. All birthdays need bling. I agree, June. And Robin says she likes how I did the turtle with blue on blue. Yeah, you can do that with any color, especially the darker colors, because you can really get, you can see here on my placemat how you can get like that variation of color. And even though there's a little oopsie kind of in the middle there, it doesn't matter because you're adding that layer. And honestly, with the turtles, you can do, it can be a little bit off. In fact, I have other cards to show you. Did you have to? Okay, so I think I've got all the comments. So let me show you these other ones too that I have here. And don't let me forget here that I am going to do a draw, like I said, from anyone who places an order in April, anytime in April. So I'll do this in May for these beautiful gems. Honestly, these were my favorite gems of all time. Okay, so here's another little card that I made using, again, the little mini turtle. And then the background here was all done with the bubble stamp. And I used the same glossy dots. Use a different stamp set here, but this is all Designer Series paper in the back. So the cute little corners in the paper. And here is another one that one of my team members did. I love this one. It's she's used the gold side of the paper with those fishies, and then she embossed the turtle in gold. She used a little bit of vellum here, and then this has got this fun fold, and she's got this, the bubbles stamped, and then the little turtle on the inside. Isn't that a beautiful card? Like I almost made this one for you, but I thought I'll just show you this one. It's so pretty and look very different look, right, than these two cards. And here is another one that I made with the big turtle. And so this background is entirely stamped with all the stamps in the stamp set. So I stamped on the background here with all the bubble stamps. And you won't be able to tell, I don't think, on the camera, but I actually embossed it with a and I can't remember which one it is, but it's got like bubbly things. So it's all textured as well. And then I added Wink of Stella to all the little fishies and to the turtle shell. And I cut the turtle shell out and did it in a different color than the bottom turtle. So you could totally do that with the little turtles too. If you really wanted to make them pop even more, you could do that. So, but I just thought that was fun. I also did a piece of vellum here and I embossed it. It says "Love you to the beach and back." It's from another Beachy stamp set. And there's my favorite gem that I use right there too. So the turtle set is really quite a lovely set. And it's maybe one that you don't see at first, but it is one of those ones that I love. It's got the little, so you can see here I've used the little, I want to call them plants. I guess that's what they are in the sea, but it's also got this starfish and this little, there's a name for that. Can't think of it. Sand dollar. That's it. And then the two different size turtles, the bubbles, and the fish. And all of them have those overlays that you can put on top. So, okay, let's see what else you guys had to say. Nicole says she likes the bubble stamp. Robin says she loves the big turtle card. Thank you. June says all very lovely, and Robin says she also loves the big turtle. Yeah, the turtles are fun. I quite like those turtles. Anywho, that is all I have for you today. So thank you very much for joining me. And if you're watching the replay, thanks for doing that as well. I'm wishing you all a wonderful weekend. And next week is new catalog. Woo, exciting. So don't forget, if you have something that you want off that retiring list, you've only got a couple more days, well, till Sunday, to get them. And then it's gone. So stuff like this beautiful paper, it will be gone. So be sure to have a look. The best thing to do is go to my online store. I will put a link in there right now so that you have that. You can go directly there and just look. There's a lot of things that are on sale too. Like I forgot to look this up, but I want to say that it's like maybe $12 or something. It's super cheap. So check that out. Robin said she got a new catalog yesterday. Great. And Rita's saying have a good weekend too. Thanks so much. And Robin too. And Nicole. Oh, look at Nicole said, I like the turtle, and she put a little turtle in there too. How cute. Okay, thanks guys. We'll see you again next Friday. Don't forget to like, comment, and share so you get in on my draw, and have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me today. Bye-bye now.